All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Hakwadash. Also, I want to give double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who I learned this truth from, and peace and love to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, to prophesy the downfall of Mystery Babylon the Great, the USA, and to let you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as you speckled bird Israelites out there know that salvation is in fact for you, but you need to repent. All right, so I came across this article through the Spirit in Forbes. It was posted a couple of days ago, and it's going into here we go again. And it's something the scriptures speak about the prophets and how they prophesy in part, meaning the Lord has us on different watchtowers. All right, we're all watching for the same enemy. All right, and it's in the same results. But there's just certain things that, certain subjects. All right, that other brothers go into that some brothers may not. This whole universal income, sure, Akim are going into it. It's just something that like to go into a lot. So another rumor of universal income. What does that have to do with prophecy? Well, look at the signs of the times. This is what we're saying. This is to prepare the masses to take the MOTB. If they say, look, if they put us in financial dire straits, which most of us are, some more than others, and then they start giving out money, let's say they do it now, and they start, hey, we're going to take that. Why? Because we did it with the stimulus checks. They did it twice, $1,500 checks, right? What if they just start doing it every month? And I've done an epistle about this, dealing with Eve. Yeah, somewhere in the Midwest, I think it was, they're doing these test runs and they're giving Eve, all right, monthly money, all right, universal income. They're saying it's a test run, but here it goes again. So if they continue doing that, preparing our minds, all they got to do is slip in that mark of the beast, all right, which is that RFID microchip. And without that microchip embedded inside of your body, you won't be able to receive those benefits, which means you're not going to be able to buy or sell, especially if they keep on putting people out of jobs via their wickedness. All right, so I'm gonna let this guy talk on this podcast, and then I'll bring out some precepts.
David Stewart, Editor-in-Chief of Tax Notes Today International. This week, back to basics. As artificial intelligence spreads to all areas of the economy, concerns are rising that it will cause significant challenges through displacement of workers and long-term unemployment.
And it's just not the prophets just saying, hey, AI is a problem. Hey, the whole world is starting to see that, man. That this whole AI slash robot technology entity is jeopardizing people's ability to work and provide affordable income for themselves. So this is by design ultimately for Yahweh Shema Shah. See, if you can receive it, it's ultimately the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah who came out with the mark of the beast. All right, it is the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah who came out with artificial intelligence. All right, drones and robots and such. It's his design, and it's going to ultimately lead into that hour of temptation, the great test where the Lord is going to try the inhabitants of the earth via that mark of the beast. We're commanded not to take it.
To counteract this, some figures within the AI industry are suggesting policymakers consider implementing a universal basic income. So how would UBI work, and what mechanisms would be used to implement it? Here to talk more about this is Tax Notes contributing editor Carrie Brandon Elliott. Carrie, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So why don't we start off with some basic definitions? What is universal basic income?
It's generally understood to be a cash payment to every individual, not means tested. It doesn't adjust based on geography or household size. And it's basically intended to provide a base level of anti-poverty layer so that people can afford their basic needs.
There it is, man. I mean, come on. Like, prophecy is speaking. They're probably going to try to pull this off one way or another. This is just one way they're going to program the masses to take this, or condition, should I say, the masses to take this. There's another side. The Lord said the enemy was going to come in like a madman, sparing none. So, yeah, it'll be like, okay, you're already here, and it's not just the Elon Musk chip. That's just like a brand, okay? And I mean, everybody, every country probably gonna have their own different brands, but that is your sign. Don't be funny, you so-called black and brown people. Don't be funny when they come in. I don't care what they're calling it. They don't have to call it the RFID microchip, or they literally say this is the mark of the beast, because they're probably not gonna say that. All right, but it is your sign when these motherfuckers come with a device, and without that they want to implant in your skin, okay, and it has to be inside of you, and without that device, okay, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. That is your sign that this is in fact the mark of the beast spoken of in the book of Revelation. All right.
Okay, so this is income that could support a person if they're not working?
Yes.
Bingo. And I'm finna bring it out. You already know where we're going with it, man. But this is by design. Ultimately, it's from Yahweh Bahashim and Hawashah that he's taking away these jobs. I mean, he set these celebrities up, set 2/3 of the nation of Israel up with their 401ks and their tax exemptions and all this shit. All right, just so they could be dependent on this system and take that MOTB. That is why we're chastened. That is why it seems like the Lord is harder, because he is, man. The Lord say he chastened those who he loved, man. If you're not being chastened, all right, corrected daily, all right, taking rebuke daily through the spirit of Pavia Shemal Shah, because we fall short every day. Now we're striving for those masteries, but this is very, very vital that we receive this information from Yahweh by Shemal Shah via the prophets, because it's coming close, and they're gonna come with all type of tricks. They're gonna come with the prosperity side of things, with the money and the coolness, the hipness. All right, this is what it is, especially with the brain side of things and the miracles. All right, the scriptures speak about that. The people will worship this beast system, will worship this beast because of the miracles that he able to do. And we see that with Elon Musk chip, and we see that with the Chinese people, the Moabites, with their coming chip. There's, all of it's coming out, man. And then, Babylon the Great's gonna get up in there with theirs. So we just gotta stay circumspect.
Yes, it doesn't depend on whether the person has a job. It doesn't stop if the person gets a job. And once again, it's universal.
And he calls it all, both small and great, doesn't matter. Rich, poor, male, female, or you don't have to have a job. You think the people here in Mystery Babylon are going to buck up against that, especially the motherfucking women of our nation who have been doing it for years, have never worked. I know one personally. I'm not finna get into that. All right, they're going to fly to that mark of the beast, man. If they not protected by Yahweh, by Hashem, or Hawashah, that's the trick bag. And this is the the hour of temptation, this period of time that the Lord is going to test you. So if you say, hey, you love the Lord, we're getting ready to see, Lord willing, we endure to the end, and we keep our faith towards Yahweh, by Hashem, and Hawashah.
Cash. It's not goods or services in kind, and it doesn't depend on a means test.
So how would one of these generally function? How does this sort of thing work?
Generally, a government agency issues the payments, kind of like what we saw during the pandemic. That was a form of universal basic income, even though it was means tested. So you have one government agency that issues the
Ben, and I haven't even read this article, dude, or heard it. I was just talking about. You see, the prophets are speaking truth, man. We said that there was a MF and test run. There was a test run. Right, they wanted to see, hey, first and foremost, will y'all take this, and how do people respond? And they saw, shit, we're in the middle of some shit. We're in the middle of a quote unquote pandemic. But if we hand this money out, hey, people will kind of get rocked back to sleep because they got money to do whatever they want. First and foremost, you wicked, drugs and shit like that, folly and shit like that. Then they're gonna try to take care of some bills and stuff. So they saw that on the people test run, man. We said, man, we was still, bro. The economy's been effed up for a long time. The economy wasn't great back in when that pandemic was coming, so people were in fucking need. All right, just like it's by design that people are in need now. They're homeless. They're living in motherfucking storage units, and you know how Babylon the Great doing. They don't let you stay in the storage unit. If they find out, they'll kick you out, put you in jail. And they're already saying it's illegal to be homeless. Why are they doing that? It's because Esau Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is in fact the wicked in which the Bible speaks of. This dude is insane. He is coming like a madman sparing none. And wait till it gets to the physical sense. Right now, he's coming in like a madman sparing none psychologically. And then it's going to get physical. So we're preparing through the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Al Shah, to not take that mark. So we see these things. So we got to pray. Hey, Lord, please, give us the strength not to take that MOTB, because we see it, bro. They're probably, I can't, confirm nor deny, but as a hopeful prophet, I am going to say they're probably going to do this universal income shit. They're probably going to do it fast too.
Payments, and you have another one that funds it. Like the IRS would fund it, the Social Security Administration in the U.S. would issue the payments.
Yeah, the U.S. did, you know what I mean? And their whole New World Order system, this beast system, this collective group of powers, that want to enslave the masses via their freaking mark. And you have to bow down and worship this beast, which again is this collective group of powers, all right? And they want to pull off this New World Order by having everybody microchipped and plugged into this fucking artificial intelligence robot fucking fake system. Okay, and hey, you take that mark, man, you're gonna be joined unto it. There's nothing you can do, man.
So let's bring this to the sort of subject of
That would be you pledging allegiance wholeheartedly to Esau Edom in this beast system. If you take that mark inside of you, you are now a slave unto this man.
Scaling back current cash benefits or close to cash benefits, and then a surtax that was just a flat tax that would fill in the funding gap after you reduce some cash or cash close benefits.
All right.
And you maybe do universal basic income. And if you're going to estimate what it's going to cost, you have to
All right, that's pretty much the point, though. But you hear what they're talking about. So let's bring out this precept here in Ecclesiastes 12. So remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. So that's going into, when we first wake up, as far as these last days go, remembering that, having that zeal, that excitement, that diligence, man. We want to remember, who is our creator? Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah created us. All right, Yahweh Shah. Of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Okay, so we got to try to give it our all now. Take this season of mercy where the prophets are teaching these things. Take it seriously now. Verse 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. So, we want to do it before the great tribulation is at its height, before it's just ugly out there and there's no hope when we look out our windows and things like that. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. So that's going into these CEOs, these companies, man, these Fortune 500 Fortune, is that right? Fortune 500, Fortune 500, I think that's right, companies, man. They're starting to tremble now, because why? These CEOs and all these people, even Esau Edom at his height, the illuminated ones, the Rothschilds and all of them, man. Okay, they're keepers of the house. Starting with them, those banking families, and then it's the people that own all these mega corporations, all these banks and shit like that. They're starting to tremble. Why? Because they love money. Okay, the love of money is in fact the root of all evil. So you see these people loving money, that means that they want to do the most evil shit. Is try to be like Yahweh Shemal Shah and microchip everybody. Now is Lord's telling us before that time really coming, they're starting to freak out and they're gonna come in like an enemy. A madman sparing none, and the strong man shall bow themselves. So yeah, that goes into any type of economic strength as well as physical strength, man. All right, all that's getting low, and the grinders shall cease because they are few. That's going into the workers of these fucking companies, man. And those that look out the windows be darkened. Right, that means it's hopeless. Where every time you look out, it's not bright. It's not a good sunny day. Every time you look out, it's nothing but despair, hopelessness, You don't know where your next meal is coming from. That's what we're promising this earth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Hawashah in verse 4. And the door shall be shut in the streets, man. And the scriptures speak about that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Or that's also going into these storefronts and all that shit is closing, or they're going to be compromised via the New World Order, and they'll be sieged by troops and things like that. So you're not just going to be able to, go here and there like you are now. All right. And the sound of the grinder is low. So that's going into the workers. You ain't going to quote unquote hear the worker sounds of the workers again, man. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, right? Just like when we wake up and you literally hear the birds start chirping, they're the first ones sounding off. Then you'll start to hear the school buses. Then you'll start to hear the trash man and shit. Then you'll start to hear more and more cars hustling and busting in the winter. You'll start to hear cars cranking up in the morning. Okay. It says, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. So all that shit is coming to an end, man. And there's no, listen to what they're singing and rapping about, man. There's no more spirit of songs of hope and shit like that. It's all just debauchery, just chaotic wickedness, man. I don't know what to classify the music as, man, but it has been brought low because there's nothing good to sing about, because everybody's hopeless except the Lord's hopeful elect. And we are in fact singing our own song, man. All right. And the hopeful elect are familiar with the lyrics to this song that we're singing. The rest of the world don't understand the lyrics. They got their own damn song. And again, that's why the damn daughters of music have been brought low. Used to be good, what you call feel good music. It was good for the soul. This music nowadays, as far as what they want to put out to the masses, okay, it's destructive. Now I did see this, and it shows sometimes, and we've been using this the AI, and sometimes it be going off though, man. So let's take a look at this AI right quick, and I'm gonna watch this. Every time I do this, dude. Every time I get on here, bro. Dang. Can I do it? Of course not. No. Man, let me see. Nah. Dang it. Well, it's okay. I every time I use this app, I can't do the AI thing. Fuck. All right, Salakia. I just had to do it manually, but I just AI question this thing, man, about Ecclesiastes 12, in which we just read. And sometimes you got to be careful because sometimes it does go off. That's why we got to pray that the Spirit deals with us. But they're saying, and I'm not saying that it isn't, but we know the scriptures twofold, sometimes threefold. So this Ecclesiastes 12, it is in fact what I just said, prophetic. All right, that means we're saying these things before. So that is a prophecy of the grinder ceasing in relation to the economy here in the last days. But it's also just for us, just like it starts, remember thy creator in the days of thy youth. It says Ecclesiastes 12 is the final climactic chapter of the book of Ecclesiastes, written by the preacher, okay, after the whole book, okay. The chapter breaks down into three distinct sections. The call to youth, a poetic description of aging and death, and the final conclusion of the matter. So remember, not saying that it isn't going into the spirit of serving the Lord in your youth while you have the strength to do so, to your, and giving him praise, honor, and glory when you have the strength to do so, because it is, the Bible is 1 deep, 2 deep, 3 deep. 1 deep would be just reading it in chronological order, understanding the historical context. Then you go 2 deep when we're stacking precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. And then 3 deep would be the full understanding of the prophecies and the depths thereof, man. And it's given to starting with our apostles and elders right now, manifested of Great Millstone. All right, and the brothers that have received their instruction through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Hawashah. So let's just take a look at some of these. So verse 1, it says, nah, man, that's not the one I want. Let me get it right quick. Let me just get it. Hold on. Shit. Still not the one I wanted, but it'll work. So let's look at the AI breakdown of Ecclesiastes 12, 1 through 4 real quick. So we look at that verse 1, and again it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So those days are coming where the inhabitants of the earth are going to say, we have no pleasure in them. Why? Because it's the last days. It is in fact the time of Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation. So in verse 1 it says, this is their breakdown, the action: remember your creator. To remember in the Bible means more than just occasionally thinking about power. All right, Yahweh Shema Shah. It means to actively honor him, obey him, and prioritize a relationship with him. Absolutely. So that's going into the zeal, man. We want to be diligent in this truth, man. We want to care about this work more than that carnal work, because that carnal work is going to come to naught here pretty soon. And the only thing that's going to stand is what we do for Yahweh Shema Shah right now. Let me get a precept on that, on diligence and things like that. Let's go Book of Proverbs 13 and verse 4. The soul of the sluggard desireth. So, man, you're always going to be found wanting, man, if you're coming in a slothful, sluggard spirit and have nothing. But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Scripture speak about this word fattening our bones, man. So, and we're being fed constantly, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and all the Archeum that's, going crazy right now through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, doing this work, feeding the sheep. So we're able to, fatten our spiritual bones, if you will. So that is correct. You know what I mean? You want to disappear? I just wanted, through the spirit to say, yes, the Bible's 3D. It also is prophetic, though, what we're reading in Ecclesiastes 12, man. All right. It says the timing: in the days of your youth, the author urges young people to give power their best years, Yahweh Shema Shah, energy and passion, rather than giving him leftover, absolutely right, leftover scraps of their life after they have already worn themselves out. Hey, man, when we come into this thing, we can't take our hand from the plow. We don't want to be spending all our years and just sin it up, man. And then when you get old, you don't really have the strength, all right, to serve Yahweh Shema Hawashah. So it's important to don't put off from day to day serving the Lord and repenting. It says the warning before the days of trouble come, and that's what we're promising y'all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Jacob's trouble. The days of trouble refer to old age. You see what I'm saying? And not saying that it isn't saying that in Ecclesiastes 12 here, because it is, but it's also 3 deep in relation to the prophecy and what the Lord say about those prophecies. The Lord revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets, man. That's in the book of Amos chapter 3. All right, so again, the warning before the days of trouble come. The days of trouble refer to old age, and it can because when you get in old age, you got all type of issues, man. You're more subject to everything happening to you, even just getting hands pulled on you. You ain't in your strength to throw them things, man. There's such thing, Jay got that old man strength, but when you get to be an old man, we're gonna see how that go for you with one of these so-called YNs, man. If the Lord not with you, it's over with, man. You better, if the Lord with you, you'll get on him though. We believe that. The preacher warns that a time is coming when physical limitation and pain will make it much harder to find joy. Remember, the Bible is like 3 deep. Okay, 4. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. There's no limit to the depths of the mind of Yahweh Shema Shah, but the Lord did reveal his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So yes, this is an allegory, if you will, about getting older and the importance of serving the Lord in your youth before you're not in the strength to do so, but also prophetically, Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation. We speak about this. This is a time of trouble. I bring it out like the earth has never seen before in the book of Jeremiah. Okay, man, that was a rough start. I've been looking for this, trying to use that app all morning, but I got it though. It's rolling now, the spirit rolling. Jeremiah 30:7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that's what the Lord has revealed unto us, what this is, what this time, what this great day is all about. It's a time that the Lord is executing judgment first and foremost to the 2/3. That's about 66% of the Israelites, man, for their disobedience, for their lack of concern of the warnings via the prophets. Okay. So again, the days of trouble. So let's say Jacob's trouble refer to old age of this motherfucking world, right? The end of an age, the era. That's what that world are in a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, breaking down words and the etymology. That's why the Lord tells us to study to show ourselves approved, man. All right. The preacher warns that the time is coming, the last days, when physical limitations and pain will make it much harder to find joy. So that's what we're saying. It's about to be a lot of pain that the Lord is going to implement upon the earth. Look at Matthew 24th chapter. There should be wars and rumors of wars. Hey, when the time of war, and if you're in it, or affected by it, because, and the reason why I say that, because sometimes, especially here in Babylon the Great, people go off to war, and inhabitants of Babylon the Great be partying and shit. All right, so if you're affected by the war, you're not going to find joy. All right, then you got like pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. All these are in Matthew 24th chapter. The Lord say these will be signs preceding his second coming. So people aren't going to find joy, motivation, or pleasure in everyday life. Then we go down to verse 2. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars grow dark and the clouds return after the rain. All right. The metaphor, the darkening sky. In youth, life feels bright, full of optimism, and filled with endless potential. In old age, mental sharpness fades, joy diminishes, and the world begins to feel bleak and heavy. That's spiritual, man. But remember, that's that too deep. We're going to go 3 and look at the prophetic side of things, man. Same thing which we was just talking about. People think themselves to be in good case. They're happy. They're partying. Look at all the TikTok dances. I just saw, man, oh shit, bugged me out, boy. Vexed me out. The Savannah Bananas, or not them, but that baseball organization with the motherfucking highlighter ass uniforms and all the neon lights and all the damn dancing, man. I seen that this morning. It had me vexed. I'm like, this is some straight clown shit in Babylon the Great. Look at y'all. Look at y'all. Just clown, grown ass men out there dancing like Little Eve. They, if you're gonna dance, man, dance like a man. They out there dancing like little girls, doing little black girl dances. You know what I mean? Out there nay. I know that's kind of old, but you know what I mean? I don't know the name of these dances nowadays, but that's what they look like. The movements, the little gyration, the little hip movements that these baseball players so-called are doing. Oh man, they're happy right now. We're in the house of mourning. All right, we're more mature. We understand prophecy, so we're constantly in the house of mourning, in that heaviness, man. And the Lord is gonna sup with us, man. All right, and reverse the roles during Jacob's trouble, if you will, at least as far as our perception is going to be. We're going to have the outlook of a sunny day, because we got hope that this is the end, that salvation is right around the corner. It is nigh, while the 2/3 of the nation of Israel and everybody else are constantly looking out, and it's gloomy. Okay, and the metaphor, clouds return after the rain. In the winter of life, troubles do not clear up easily. In youth, a storm of sickness come and then passes. Yes, man. But that's what we're trying to tell y'all, man. Hey, it's a time for everything. Was it Ecclesiastes chapter 3? We're coming into a time where the Lord say it's just gonna be calamity after calamity, what my brothers call a polycrisis, man. The Lord said it in Matthew 24th chapter. Hey, these are just the beginning of sorrows. All right, let's go down to verse 3. All right. When the keepers of the house tremble and the strong men stoop, when the grinders cease because they are few, and those looking through the windows grow dim. And that's why it's important for us to pray to understand prophecy, because if you look at it the way they look at it, you'll never understand the prophetic 3 deep aspect of this. So this is what they say. This is like the 2 deep side of thing, or the 1 deep. The keepers of the house tremble. The keepers are the hands and arms. And again, I'm not saying that it's not, okay? But we are going, to look at prophecy, the keepers of the house. We went into that. Those companies, starting with Esau Edom, the Waltons, I believe they own Walmart. They're the ones, the Waltons, them, the keepers of the house, man, the ones that's watching the money, that's in charge of all of that. that's coming with different laws damn near daily, the digital price tags and shit like that. They're the keepers of the house. They're starting to tremble, all right? But also how they're looking at it. The keepers are the hands and the arms which guard and protect the body. In old age, they begin to shake and lose their strength. Absolutely, absolutely. So again, too deep. It's important and that's just the whole point of just serving the Lord when we have the strength to do so before the Lord executes judgment on you. All right, before it's too late, before he take you off the earth, or before you just don't have the physical strength, the mental sharpness to do so. And the strong men stoop. The strong men are the legs and spine that support the entire weight of the house. Age causes the back to bend and posture to slouch and the knees to weaken. And again, prophetically, you already know, man, what they go into. Hey, you can look at like the CEOs of these companies. All right, the faces of the company, because the Illuminati now, the Rothschild, they ain't the face of nothing. They be hiding. They got the front man. All right, just like Trump, he a front man for them. Okay, and they're starting to stoop, if you will, like Trump. He looked like an old man, especially Biden. Oh my goodness, he's a prime example of he's a prime example of a declining kingdom. And then it says, the grinding cease because they are few. The grinders are the teeth used to mill food. This refers to losing teeth, making eating slow and difficult process. So that's why it's very, very important to understand prophecy and to pray to the Lord, because you could just leave it there and not receive the prophetic side of that, not receive prophecy. The grinders are going into the workers, all right, of here in Mystery Babylon the Great. They are few because of motherfucking AI. All right, and motherfucking robots and just motherfucking draconian laws and all type of stuff, man. All right, because this place is ran by wickedness, man. All right, the wicked. The Bible calls this man Esau Edom. If not, then who and where is this guy? The signs are there, and this whole Epstein stuff is getting out of freaking control, man. I don't deal with it at all. I don't deal with it at all. That going back to we prophesied in part, but I listen and I hear, and man, oh man, it's more dirt coming out. We didn't know. I didn't know that you were that sick. We thought, for the most part, like the biggest thing, you was just obsessed with the black and brown people, with your killing and stealing. But this whole stuff with the children, that's a whole nother level of sickness, man. What's wrong with you? And it ain't just them. The Lord has been exposing plenty of these guys that claim themselves to be men of the Lord and are playing around with the youth. The Lord said all these things, whatever done in darkness shall be brought to the light. So all these things are coming to the light, and prophecy is coming to the light. And now, and again, those looking through the windows grow dim. So the windows are the eyes. Yeah, this poetically describes failing eyesight, blurred vision, or cataract setting in. Yes, 1 deep, 2 deep, but 3 deep, going into the hopelessness and the despair of the inhabitants of the earth. The scriptures say, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, man, in these last days, man. Man, that went pretty well. That went pretty well, man. Through the spirit of Part Yahweh Shema Hawashah. That's pretty much really the point, man. I was here and there, but it came through. That's the whole point, man. I wanted to bring out through the spirit about the universal income. We got to remain circumspect, trust in the Lord. And I guess I'll leave it out here. Some hope. I always try to leave off with a little hope. But yeah, man, they will. It's looking like they want to do the universal income, and they are programming us. They are prepping us by, really, it's the Lord, right? By crashing the damn economy. All this stuff is just to crash the economy so they can come in with their universal income and the mark of the beast. Here we go. Let's see. Let me go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. So remember, they got their own work. We have ours. So ours is going to stand the test of time. For so much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord, man, and it is not. So the things that we do on a daily basis, whether we're seeing her or whether it's just the Lord that sees us and hears us, there's a reward for it, and it's not in vain. Their labor shall be in vain. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Till next time, Shalom.